Rochester Broadway Theatre League brings Broadway entertainment to downtown Rochester and the region. With me today to discuss their upcoming 2022 season is Linda Glosser. She's the Vice President. Welcome, Linda, and thank you so much for joining us in the spotlight today.
Thank you very much, Eric. I'm pleased to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been an exciting time to plan upcoming events when we've had our theaters quiet and dark here for so long, it seems.
Yeah, it's exciting, it's challenging, but it's mostly exciting, yeah.
And Broadway shows are such a fantastic feature to have in a town the size of Rochester, and people enjoy it from all over, don't they?
That's absolutely true. We have a great local audience, but people do travel to see us as well. And it's just, whoever it is, we welcome it, but we really feel proud of the fact that we provide it for our relatively small local community. And it's absolutely Broadway quality on the road. It's just a wonderful thing to be able to do.
Well, if people would like to follow along at home while we're discussing your upcoming season, what's your website so they can look at home?
Just go to RBTL, www.rbtl.org.
RBTL.org. I'm sure people will enjoy that. So now, of musical shows, if you really want to hear Hamilton, for instance, can you do it at RBTL?
You can. Next fall, a little bit less than a year away from us, Hamilton will be with us for a few weeks, and you can do that. Tickets are not yet on sale unless you're a subscriber just yet, but they will go on sale in the new year. And there will be 2 weeks, 16 performances for people to choose from to come and see.
16 performances, and boy, you couldn't get a ticket to that in downtown New York City, for instance, right?
It's much tougher in New York, yeah.
And so what other, that's a musical show. Are they all musical shows, or what other offerings do you have?
Well, we do have all, in our Broadway series, we do offer strictly musicals this year. There have been years when we've done plays. This is a strictly musical year. We do what we call Broadway specials, not necessarily Broadway musicals, but we are doing a small engagement of River Dance and of Stomp. And those are really fun, big theatrical events, but not, a Broadway musical per se. We also actually have a couple days of the farewell tour of Rent, which of course is, a very classic Broadway musical. And that's not part of the current Broadway season package, but it is stuff that will be here after the first of the year as well.
I see. And so River Dance and Stomp, that's dance. That's quite a fantastic offering.
Yeah. It's great because there's some variety. So a lot of times we'll find people that, you can't be all things to all people, but generally there's something that everybody will find that, appeals to them.
Oh, that's very exciting. And so what other kinds of activities go on at the Auditorium Theater during your typical year?
Well, from a show perspective, we do as well do one-night events, comedy shows, concerts. We just did a great concert with Joe Bonamassa, who comes back every 2-3 years with us. He's just a fabulous guitarist. It just, that performance for us felt very much like, all right, live events are back, the excitement. So things like that are very much on the horizon. We'll do some comedy events. We do dance recitals. There's a couple local dance schools that will do, schools that will do their dance recitals with us in the new year. So we've done Rochester City School District graduations. We are, again, a venue that really, we open our arms to whoever in the community might want to come in. So as a result, we get to see a lot of variety in what we have out there.
I see. Well, that's fascinating. And how about cultivating young artists? I know that Rochester's provided a lot of talent to Broadway stages in the past years.
Right. Part of our mission is really to provide educational opportunities. We do have about 10 different education programs that are initiated and administered through our education department. We do go into schools and teach curriculum related to some, one or two or three of the selections in any given season that are on stage. Gage Chili just sent, I think, 600 kids in for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. School 19 sent, I think, 75 in on one night. I mean, we were really, really fortunate to work closely with several schools in the area. Additionally, we do our Stars of Tomorrow, which is a almost like a Tony Awards for high school students program in generally in May, and that will be May this year as well, where kids from different, participating high schools come in and perform on our stage, and we recognize them in their efforts.
Uh-huh. And do they compete then for any recognition beyond high school?
Well, for the past, I think 10 years now, I should know that exactly. I'm not sure. We might be in 11. We will select students who represent us in New York that go on to the National High School Musical Theater Awards program, the Jimmy Awards. And those kids go to New York. Last year was a virtual year. This coming year, it is planned for in-person, but they will go and represent our region, the Rochester Broadway Theatre League in our region, in New York City on stage with about 75 other students from around the country and participate. So yeah, that's an exciting offshoot of the Stars of Tomorrow program.
So that's NYC Bound, I think it's called.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And talk about your arts partners. That was fascinating to me.
Well, that is the one where we have a fantastic education director in Holly Valentine, her name is, and she writes curriculum for schools. The idea is that she creates a program that can be dropped into these schools, and it works with the existing curriculum for whatever grade it's being administered in, and it goes across many different grade levels. But she'll take the theme of one of the shows and somehow weave it in to every part of what the kid is studying during their school year. And it generally will go for several months. So we want kids in the theater, but we also want to get into the classroom so we can talk to them about theater. And in that, we, talk about the themes of the shows, whatever, learning experiences they themselves might have. It's just a really all-encompassing program. And she's phenomenal at figuring out how to put the pieces together and work with the teachers and the administration within the schools to do that.
So it actually supports the in-school curriculum, the
Yes,
other
it does.
subjects they're learning.
It does, yeah.
Oh, that's phenomenal. And what life skills do you see that your students acquire while they're studying Broadway production or acting, for instance?
I think what they get from specifically arts partners is it does encourage them to all experience this as a group together. And they find, I think they find some common ground in the actual experience, but the kids also get to express themselves and, what do they think? What did they learn? How does it apply to their life? They get to do, on the fun side, art projects, which we will display in the theater for the week that show is in town. They get to come to the theater and learn about just how that works, just how actually many of them, especially the young ones, they've never been to a show. Uh-huh. So they get to come in and experience that, being part of a great big audience with a lot of adults around them. And we find that we love it. The actors love it. The performers can tell when the kids are in the house because of the level of enthusiasm. So it is really a win-win all around.
Mm-hmm. And what happens in the summer? Can students maintain their skills during the summertime?
Well, our goal this year is to roll out again after a 2-year hiatus, our Summer Stars program, which is this year will probably be a 2.5 week long theater program, because actually one of our Broadway shows falls in July when we would normally be doing camp. But we're going to reintroduce that to the region and do that again. And that is a very intensive couple week period where the kids learn, it's really a big gala performance. There's always a special theme. This year we haven't unrolled it yet. It will be terrific, but they get to sing and dance and act and perform for their parents. And, sometime in July, that is a lot of fun.
It's important to become a well-rounded performer early in life.
Sure. And it helps them with other skills. If they don't want to be on stage, that's okay. Getting a person to feel comfortable in front of a group of peers, I think, is a real important life skill. So they take that with them and apply it to however works for them. And
where do students come from to participate in these programs?
We have, depends on which program we're talking about, of course. Stars of Tomorrow, that is from any teacher in the region that wants to participate. So we have schools in outlying areas, not really as many in the city as we would like, actually, but we're always working to try to get people, more participation, the better. But Mount Morris, Warsaw. We have, people, you don't have to live in the city limits to be part of this Stars of Tomorrow program. Same with Summer Stars. You can come from wherever. We do have people who come. We have had kids who came up from North Carolina every year to spend that 3 weeks with friends that they had in this area, so that our kids could go with their cousins to the program. So it was can be far-reaching, really.
And are you aware of students who have gone through your program and made success on Broadway and beyond?
We've worked with several people. There's a girl named Shawnee Reitz who in the second year we went to the Jimmy Awards, actually won the Jimmy Awards. Wow. And she is successfully recording and living in New York, doing her acting thing, and but also as a recording artist. And she's been terrifically involved almost, and she went on to college after that, but she pursued musical theater, and that's been a success story for her. We have lots of other kids have gone from our programs into musical theater programs, so they're kind of in their development chrysalis stage right now, we're seeing in more recent years.
And how do your productions fit with high school musicals that are so important to everybody here in town? So much energy goes into producing those each year.
How do our own?
The RBTL and local high school musical productions, and is there any interchange there, or?
Well, with the national tours, not so much. I mean, there's just not there's not as much opportunity for them to work with that as we'd love. We'd actually like to begin working in this new year on a program that is. There's an initiative with the Broadway League on Broadway called Careers.Broadway. And what the goal is to expose kids to all aspects of theaters and careers aside from just being on stage. So in the coming year, we're developing that program so we can just let people know what they don't know. And, everybody, whether or not they've been to the theater or not, I think is familiar with the concept of, acting and getting up in front of people, but lots of people don't know about the backstage experience and the jobs and the opportunities backstage that really don't have anything to do with performing. And in that regard, we'd like to be able to develop a program where those kids can maybe shadow some of the working professionals behind the scenes to understand and learn what that's about.
Well, that's extraordinary. There's a lot of technology these days, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep. Lots. It changes all the time.
Yeah, lots of costuming and music and all sorts of things.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, there's so many more jobs behind the scenes. Well, I know the people we talk to that come through town, they're pretty passionate. So this is something that we feel is maybe an important part of the education experience that right now we want to improve on.
I was wondering if that building houses other events. I mean, for instance, if I were hosting an event, could I reserve a room at that Broadway theater, at the Auditorium Theater?
Well, we own a portion of it. We just have the theater. We do have a couple of rooms, but we just have the one large performance space.
I see.
So there are some also small theaters or stages. They do a lot of educational programs and performances for students, but they're separate of us.
I see. Okay, well, it's been an exciting time for theaters and a challenging time, but you've got a great season ahead. Tell us the website one more time so people can find you and become involved.
It is www.rbtl.org.
That's great. And thank you so much for telling us all about it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
In the Spotlight is a production of Penfield Television with sponsorship from Nokan & Associates, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Advisors. If you enjoy this program, please find us on Facebook, like and share the program, and find our full playlist on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching.